This is a very quick example of how we can implement MSIX App Attach from the command line. We have a single executable called App Attacher that encapsulates all of the logic for mounting and dismounting virtual disks in CIM and VHDX format, and also registering and unregistering MSIX packages. To demonstrate this, we're just using a command prompt. We've got one that's running in a system context because we need to be elevated in order to add and remove disks. And we've got one that's running in a user context because that's the context in which we're going to register our MSIX packages. We can implement this simply by pointing to our app attacher, specifying an org parameter. In this example, we'll use your org. You can use whatever organization you work for. We need a verb to say if we're add or removing. We need a target to specify whether we're targeting a disk operation or an MSIX operation. And finally, we need a path. And this will point to our VHDX or our CIM. In this example, we'll point to Firefox. So we'll add the Firefox disk. Simply, we can copy and paste that line, and we can change the disk operation to be an MSIX operation. And if we look in our start menu, you can see that we've attached the MSIX package called Firefox. If we look in the registry, we also track, which is useful for a multi-session desktop environment. We can track in the current user hive when a package is being published, and we also track when a disk has been added in the local machine hive. To remove these, we just need to do it in reverse order. So we change the verb from add to remove. And we do the same for the disk. If we look in the start menu, we can see that Firefox is now gone. And if we look in the registry, we can see that it's gone from the registry too. Of course, the name of these keys will be named accordingly to the parameter you pass in as org. And there is also some logging as well. So if we look in the log file, it's in a CSV format. So if you wanted to rename the .log extension to a .csv, you could then filter by the type or by the session. So we can see the exit codes as well for each operation. And I'll finally give an example of how we can use this to attach a CIM disk. So we'll attach the Notepad CIM disk. We can copy and paste that command line as we did previously down here. And we'll change the disk target to be MSIX. And if we look in our start menu, we can see that Notepad++ is added. We can check in our registry to verify that they have successfully registered, of which it has for the current user, and the disk is registered in local machine. And as before, we can simply remove them by changing the verb from add to remove. Now, of course, if you wanted to, you could iterate over multiple disks in a storage location, and you could mount all the CIM disks or mount all the VH disks one after the other, and then publish your applications as well in a user context at logon or otherwise. There are multiple ways to do it, but importantly, all of the logic to encapsulate adding and removing of disks, registering and deregistering of MSIX applications is all inside the one executable that we can call using a simple single command line.